they get a hoodwink on Purple Paradox, most likely putting the Tusk in the mid lane. I like it. Tusk jumps someone, Global Silence comes out, Sharpshooter, the hero dies. So you do have burst damage on the side of Purple Paradox. XERXIA pick up a Batrider. Could be an offlane, could be a mid lane bat. Tusk actually deals relatively well with the bat in the lane because you constantly keep him low, and it's hard for the bat to really commit on you. But you have to commit on that. Constantly you're spamming spells to keep the Batrider low and not really get into a situation where you just want to secure the range creep with your shards, and then you're gonna get murdered at some point because the bat is staying healthy.
Only 20 seconds remaining. We're going to be in a hurry with this draft. To fill up, we need a support at least. And another core still missing. What do they want to do? Probably figuring out Morphlings and Bats lanes right now. We have a Gyrocopter, which could also be a support. So either that's a 5 Gyro, or we have something like off-lane Bat, mid-morph, safe-lane Gyro, and we have a last-pick support to kick in, and there's heroes like IO and stuff still in the pool. Where would you like to see this Gyro?
I don't know, I'm not getting the XERXIA draft at all. You go off-lane Batrider, you're gonna be up against the Silencer, you're gonna get destroyed. You go mid-lane Bat, it's not that great against the Tusk. Now you pick this Gyro. If you send the Batrider to the off-lane, and you play Gyro, let's say mid or Morphling mid and Gyro safe lane, it's not going to be working out too well for you. So I'm guessing the best idea is to put the Gyro in a position 5 or 4. That's it. Like, if it's a core, XERXIA's draft is just horrendous in my eyes.
Let's see what the last phase is going to be like, because when you consider this Gyrocopter, it does look like they're going to be playing it as a potential support.
Only 10
Still thinking about this Batrider's positioning. Bat could also be support, now that you think about it. There were times with the Bat 5. I myself am a personal... I really enjoy Batrider carry when people go for the shard build with the Napalm doing more right-click damage, but you just get to see it so rarely. It's more like a pub thing.
You rarely see it. Sometimes it can work out if the game is going super well for you, but very rarely.
The Hawk played it once.
I like the bans from Purple Paradox. They get rid of the LC and the Slaughter, which are kind of the anti-mage counters in the lane. Beastmaster is also pretty decent, but only in the lane. As game progresses, not a big of a deal. Man, the counter spell in this game in particular is so amazing. Like, you're literally returning everything, and it's so easy to do. It's very easy to... maybe the Batrider with the lasso, if he has a blink, can surprise you, but everything else... it is so easy to dodge. So just a really cool anti-mage game. Plus, you're playing against the Morphling and pretty much against mostly magical damage. And yeah, Morphling is your only problem, but he's kind of a hero that you yourself counter. So I'm very much afraid for XERXIA in this game.
Yeah, I guess you normally when you see the XERXIA draft, you'd be like, oh, 5 cores. But obviously you can't fit that many in the draft. And we have a Pudge to follow through for Purple Paradox. So the Mongolians are definitely happy with what they're getting through the draft. And then looking on the other side, Rapido, offlane Beastmaster, mid Bats, carry Morphling, and Jaja with the support Gyrocopter, Jing with the Marcy. So that is as follows. Where do we draw a line somewhere? Is this too optimistic from XERXIA?
Yeah, I think it is. Though offlane Pudge, I don't know if it's ideal. It is a great hero against the Morphling later on.
No, offlane Pudge? No, that should be carry. That's a carry. That's Temujin is
offlane anti-mage? Offlane anti-mage?
Did you say offlane anti-mage or offlane Pudge?
I asked if it's an offlane anti-mage then. If it
is an offlane anti-mage because that's the carry Pudge. Same AM.
Same is playing the anti-mage. Yeah, that's
could be a fun game.
Weird. That's weird, but it actually does work in this game in particular for the reasons of the counter spell. And
Yep.
then you have the carry pudge to actually, yeah, that's actually better because if it would be an offlane pudge, you could maybe punish it. But given that it's a carry pudge, it's actually a really big counter to the Morphling.
Very interesting drafts. I don't think we're going to see something like this in a while,
Yeah, for
especially
sure.
positioning wise. I guess XERXIA still looks like to have a more standard looking draft, especially with this gyrocopter support that has been getting more and more often picked. Basically every region plays this hero. I think SA is the only one that doesn't play gyrocopter support. I could be wrong on this, and I'm gonna hear about that. But I have, at least with the games that I've cast, I don't think I've seen too many gyrocopter 5s or even gyro 4s. Probably somebody who would do an SA would probably be Matthew, but
What I was hoping when the tournament started, everyone in EU pubs is talking about a position 5 Ricky. So I'm kind of hoping that's something that we
Yeah.
see. Some people are even calling it overpowered. They go for an Ether Lens shard and just go around the map, just poking people with the sleeping dart. And also during the laning phase, they're actually quite strong with the damage, slows, jumps, and of course the high armor that you have. So
yeah.
it's something that I wanted to see. You know, when we're already talking about some unconventional or rarely seen position 5 gyros. But yeah, in the Southeast Asia region, I think the position 5 gyro is something that happens in every meta, at least sometimes. I haven't ever seen it like completely favored, maybe by some teams, but you always see it here and there.
I think it was Sweet and Strong who like to play Ricky support, and then I think Solo also might have played a game of Ricky support, but they played it 4 and 5 if I remember correct. So that could definitely be a thing. You do see it in pubs these days. But hey, ladies and gents, this is the final game for Southeast Asia for today. North America later on in a couple hours or several hours. If you're one of those Dota-holics, you want to watch more Dota, it's going to be later on. But we're going to be getting a first blood here by the looks of it. Goes for the jump out, but Seimei, off-lane anti-mage, gets first blood.
That's actually pretty good. Once you get the second raid band, it becomes almost impossible to kill you. There's just so much armor that this raid band gives. 5 agility plus 2 armor. So when you get 2 raid bands, it's pretty much 5 armor extra on the anti-mage because of all the stats. You do have to get the ward away from this, but I'd say well worth it.
This match ends up being of any cosmic significance.
And here we go. We got our game underway. And our lanes slowly going to start forming up. Morphling Gyrocopter. Lane-wise, Counterspell is so easy to use against the Gyrocopter. You should always get the rocket spinning the other way around.
Yep, you can always do it. We'll see. We see that he's not starting off with the spell. I'm guessing that's going to be the one that he starts off with. You're up against the Gyro and the Morphling, so early on they only do magical damage to you, so it does make sense. We'll see what he does. Yeah.
And back they go. Into the pushback, into the rocket. Early poke. Not gonna have fun spamming that rocket at all, because it doesn't do anything to the AM. I think that's the strongest part about the counter spell, that it doesn't actually do anything.
Or denies on the AM from the first wave. This is the thing, something that people tend to forget about the AM, that his attack animation and damage is actually really good. Morphling has it good as well, but he's a range hero, so he's always gonna be at a disadvantage there, and just a beautiful start from Seimei overall.
Yep. Morphling also getting bushwhacked at the same time, and Jaja gonna have to rely on good old-fashioned right clicks here. They're gonna turn the rocket towards the Hoodwink. Seimei only halfway to level 2. And Fearless is very low. He's got Bushwhack. He could get on them both. He only throws it onto the Morphling, though.
Good positioning from XERXIA. They positioned themselves in a way that they couldn't both get bushwhacked. You could see that the Morphling wasn't coming close, and Gyro went all the way to the edge. So beautifully done.
Ken versus Valky in the mid lane. Pretty even in CS. Nothing too special going on there right now. A lot of heroes taking somewhat damage here. in every lane.
It's normal. We have a lot of poke heroes here. Not a lot of kill potential though. When you look at it, even if the Pudge, let's say, gets a hook on the Marcy, which is not that easy to happen against all the boars, it is not easily. It's not gonna be easy to kill her. It'll just be able to jump away. You're seeing that Jing understands that he cannot be jumping in first because that's kind of the only way you lose your life.
Yep.
He does it now though.
He did. He was just waiting for the Arcane Curse to run out, and they will get their opportunity onto Moody. And that is a split kill. Creeps finish him off. That one works out for them. There was...
Mid lane is interesting to me. I want to see how Valky plays this one. Ken is full HP. That is something that I don't like that Valky is allowing it.
Has been using shards off of cooldown at least. Except now, maybe. No creeps to hit. Counter spell used for something else, so Jaja gets the rocket out, but it does get destroyed by Fearless. There is a thing about the adaptive strike on the anti-mage. Can they kill this Pudge, by the way? No, they can't. Rapido. Maybe in the end, yes, he will. Alright, so he does close out the kill in the end on Moody. 3 seconds for Arcane Curse. Rapido has no regen. Maybe the initial damage from the curse does it. Yep, it does. That works out. But yeah, the adaptive strike, which hits the anti-mage, who normally has 2.8 agi per level, which is a lot lower than the Morphling does. It doesn't do as much damage, but it can do a plenty.
Yeah, it's not as much, but it is still quite a lot for a Morphling who has 400 HP. The AM is having troubles in terms of HP, though. He does get the Ring of Health. So.
Halberd or Vanguard?
I think Vanguard. You go for a Vanguard as an AM. I don't think he's going to be going for a Battle Fury. That would be too greedy with the Pudge in your team.
Yeah, no, I don't think AM's gonna be going for a farmer build, but I was just thinking Halberd, like, could be useful. Wait a second. Yeah, I was just kind of having the same reaction as, wait a minute, what just happened? Literally just took the camera off of the Morphling for a second, and then Hoodwink scores a kill. So, bit of a classic full agi Morphling moment.
That's something that tends to happen. Nice movements from the Hoodwink. Actually didn't have a point in Scurry, so very weird that he didn't manage to get him. Fearless though is in the base there for a long time. Okay, he waits for some items there, but still very nicely done. And we can see all 3 lanes in terms of CS are going very well for Purple Paradox. Kind of expected in terms of CSing. Their heroes should be ahead of their opponents.
AM also, they have all of their lanes leading in CS for the time being, so that's a positive sign for Purple Paradox. I don't know about XERXIA, how much they enjoy about that. They should be fine. Batrider just able to teleport home as the Silencer rotated towards mid. Does leave the Pudge all by himself. Trying to kill the AM top.
Morphling took too much damage. He has no damage at all. He morphed mostly into strength. And obviously he's not going to be able to do anything to the AM. AM likes this because he regens faster than the morph.
Does big difference in there too. Plus the mana cost on Morphling. Morphling is already down to 50 mana. Almost oomed completely trying to get back into agi after maxing out that HP. Now we have 3 heroes in bottom as Valky trying to make a rotation. Tusk would love to use that first Walrus Punch. Can they bait them in? And there's the sentry, so they finally see him.
They saw him a second ago. They knew that he was there, but him going back kind of gave them a false sense of security for a second. Still, they're not going to be getting caught by that.
Hoodwink might just kill Yaya here.
He should be able to.
All down to the bushwhack. Where does he go? And there we go. It latches.
These Hoodwinks have gotten too good at using bushwhacks. Now the rotation of the Batrider, the Tusk didn't manage to make a good one.
3 heroes under the tower. Jing getting slowed up by the Arcane Curse. Ken's dropping low as well. That's going to be Ken going down. Pudge getting some kills for himself. He will finally fall. And Karma down at the top lane again. Fearless with the voice line spam. And repeated it down. Go down. That's 4 kills. Instantly. 4 for 1.
The only one alive is your Gyro. And a position 5 Gyro isn't the greatest hero to be farming currently, but is the only one that you have. Nice jump in from Valky. I'm surprised that Ken went for that one. Valky didn't use a TP for all of those movements, and they knew it, and they still dove a Pudge with a flesh heap, so it's not like the Batrider is going to be doing too much damage to him.
Yeah, now with the lane swap as well. Bat in the top lane. And Gyrocopter with the Morphling going down to mid. Jing gonna be grabbing the silencer. Moody in trouble. They did kill Karma just a moment ago with the help of Valky. Roar coming out. Moody at 20 HP. And he will get killed by the boar. But they shall find a response because this is gonna be a flesh heap kill.
I thought you were looking at the Morphling when you said Morphling going down to the mid. And he actually was there and died.
Yep. Well, he used to be there. That was also really nice. Using the sharpshooter instantly there, not for the damage, but for the vision. And as you see a teleporting hero in the trees, that's an easy catch for the Pudge.
And this is an even worse game for XERXIA. This time around, Ken doesn't have a game to secure for Karma. At least he's not a Slark, but even a Morphling without the Morbid Mask isn't that good of a jungle farmer. So Karma, it's gonna take some time for him to get back, and that's just gonna allow the side of Purple Paradox to get their timings. This is a horrendous start for XERXIA, though. To be frank, we didn't really like their draft to begin with, but at least I thought their laning phase was gonna be somewhat decent.
Just gotta get there. Chasing the Pudge in the bottom lane. Global Silence being used. That's an easy TP home. Lasso Batrider shows up. You have the Silencer in your team. No brainer. Get the heck out of there. I'll use my ult for it. Makes the good guy move.
And this last pick, Pudge from Purple Paradox, was so smart. You ban out the AM counters, and then they're like, we have one more, and then like, you got baited in. You pick a Pudge, and the Rupido doesn't do that well in the lane. Finally, he does have the Helm of the Dom, so on the back of this creep, at least XERXIA can start to pressure the towers. It's very hard to fight into it this early on.
Guess there's always like the we baited you in to pick this one, but they also went for a very interesting draft themselves on the other side. So. Ken's gonna get hooked up by the Pudge. No action right there. Illusion on the top half. And now a lot of traffic in bottom. Valky targeted by the rocket. Has the snowball to dodge it. Should be still able to move out. Those shards do a lot of damage. They just drop both supports to half.
Yeah, they are literally dying. I think the reason why Valky is staying here in the bottom lane is because he had that Arcane Rune. Without it, though, I think he's in a bit of a dangerous situation here. I don't know how many TPs they have, but without the Global Silence, they can't kill the Tusk.
Ken. Going in pretty deep here. Just get thrown into the air, and with a jump from Jing, but the snowball coming out first. Sharpshooter is ready as well. Ken to fall, and the Sharpshooter... Okay, they were connecting onto somebody else by the looks of it. They will get Rapido. And Jaya on the side. And a big snowball on its way. And look at the damage from that snowball connection. A level 4 damage output, damn.
People tend to forget about that bonus damage per ally. So when you get 2 or 3 people in it, the damage output of the snowball is actually insane. It's 100 per ally, actually. And yeah, XERXIA have a Beastmaster, and they cannot push the bottom lane. Having a Morphling, having this bad of a lane, he cannot join you to help you push there, but you would need an extra hero to make it happen. So it's just a complete disaster for them. If they can't take this bottom tower, they can't play the game. That's it. That's how it works with the Beastmaster lineup. So XERXIA, they're gonna have to find a way. Either make something happen on the top lane, or just bring all of your heroes here and hope it's gonna be enough. This time around, though, you're playing also into a Global Silence, so it's gonna be even harder.
Yeah, I guess somebody has to be Somebody has to be the decoy in another lane. Please kill me. Maybe it's Rapido. Sadly, Rapido's in the same lane where they need to kill the tower, so... Jink will get the jump. Moody getting pulled back. Silencer to go down. Meanwhile, Tusk versus Batrider duel. Valky, hook comes out, but he still dies to the lingering damage, plus the napalm finishes him off. Bushwhack makes sure that the Batrider ain't going anywhere. 7th flesh heap stack for the Pudge.
The supports of Purple Paradox went aggressively for no reason. It kind of opened up now this tower for XERXIA. The problem is that it's still very early on in the game. The death timers are low, so it's still possible for Purple Paradox to defend this tower, especially because they have a glyph still.
Also, this Hoodwink deals a decent amount of damage. Pudge is now halfway towards Axe.
Hoodwink in trouble.
Scurry.
Okay.
I guess having the Hawk on top is a bit annoying.
Tower is being attacked.
Looks to be alright.
Oh, they're bailing from bottom. This is just the state of the game right now. You're bailing from the bottom lane. Gyro and the Marcy, not the greatest of heroes to go for the AM. You need to connect with the rebound and then into a lasso if you want to kill him. This is just a sad situation for XERXIA. They have no play on the map.
Nothing to do, nowhere to go. And this is also a very demoralizing game when you're looking at it from the support's perspective. Like, what can you do? There's nothing we can apply. They just killed Karma in the middle of the lane with a global silence. Valky basically just blinks in. Actually, didn't even blink in. He's gonna just blink off cooldown. Smashed down the morph.
No global. They're going for the AM. But look at Seimei. He's so tanky. I don't even know if these two heroes kill him.
So the counter spell does. He pops it. Flame Break does the work for him. But we'll use the lasso.
Nice. Nice there. Nice usage of the spells, understanding there was no global. The second you said it's very sad to be a support, I was looking at Karma dying in the mid lane and I'm like, yeah, I'd rather be a support than this morphling right now.
Yeah, Morph's not having too much fun. CS-wise, Morph has the most, but slowly starting to fall behind the other cores, the Pudge and the Tusk, getting away. Even Anti-Mage, the off-lane Anti-Mage, is so much further ahead. There's a hook. Let's connect onto Rapido. That's going to be another flesh heap for Pudge. Jink might be teleporting in, but it's a bit too late.
And the bonus 100 gold. You killed the master, you killed the beast as well. You get so much gold going your way, and XERXIA, it continues to go in a way where they can't do anything. At least their morphling is having the top part of the map free to farm. But look at it, there's also a ward in the enemy jungle there, in the triangle, that hasn't been scouted yet. So once the bottom tower falls, and considering how much damage it is taking, it is gonna fall at some point. The invasion into the triangle is gonna be easy on the back of that ward. Oh, they're even gonna go
Here
for
we
it
go.
now.
Bushwhack only connects onto a couple ancient creeps, and they could steal the stack. But XERXIA is already coming in force. They have made sure that they've got plenty. Rocket to connect, holding the Pudge in place. Valky goes in, blinks in, lots of damage coming in. Bushwhack doesn't quite connect, but they got the sharpshooter coming in as well. And they are going for the global. Seimei in the middle of the fight. Valky needs some backup. Tusk will go down, but they will find themselves a response, at least from this Marcy. Ken still running away. Lasso is ready in 3. Another missed Bushwhack. They'll let him go.
They'll get the stack. This is a disaster. The only reason why you actually killed the Tusk is because the global silence was 5 seconds from being ready. Then as soon as the silencer got it, they went for it. That's why you saw Purple Paradox were moving themselves back, because they didn't have the global.
I feel like they want to go for a shot, but the hook will not connect.
The Morph is farming, and the Pudge already has an Axe. So until you get a BKB on this Morph, you won't really be able to do much.
First 16 minutes over with a 5k lead in favor of the Purple Paradox team, who also took the first game, continuing where they left the first game off.
Yep.
Slowing down.
AM now has the Diffusal Blade. That's a big counter to pretty much everyone on the side of XERXIA before they get BKBs, and they're not going to have them very soon.
Yeah. That is such a spicy build on Anti-Mage. You do so much damage with your own mana burn and Diffusal on top because they stack. So
and no
good.
one can escape. The biggest problem is that no one can escape or even chase you down. Imagine the bat running towards you. You just use the Diffusal Blade, you blink away, and unlike last time, he won't be able to catch up to you even if you don't have the global science. And still, XERXIA, with a Beastmaster lineup, they're not able to take the tower. I think with this TP away from the Pudge, the tower will finally be given to them. But at this point, even if you take the tower, it's not certain you'll be taking over the enemy jungle. And look at it, the silencer is already ready. He just placed the ward, have the tower, but you'll only get 2 camps from that tower and nothing more.
Worried about what's going on here. Karma shows up and Valky just blows him up with the DD rune. Death number 5 for the carry.
That's so sad. Bat does have a BKB. He wants to fight here.
Look at Tusk. Ready with the blink. Could just jump in. Moody. Get jumped on. Snowball is ready. Diving on, but the BKB is going to be there. He's lost half of his HP already for the initial jump in. And Gyrocopter dropping low. Seimei will be able to land it down. We've got the Jing with the Marcy Unleash. Will deal enough damage to take down the Tusk. Pudge. There's the stun into the hook and a sharpshooter. Seimei will finish him off.
Even with the haste, he couldn't outrun them. And that's the 9-second BKB. It's, you know, it's an okay fight for XERXIA, but it's a 9-second BKB and you still lose it. So now you're gonna start losing all of your possibilities for getting back into this game, and that is just because you're so far behind. If the difference was lower, the Batrider actually lives there.
All right, let's see who's the bigger Pudge, the Pudgeling or the Pudge.
That's one water I wouldn't use for a bat, to be honest.
Nope.
So
Water's
Seimei
looking
is
pretty
going.
sus.
Seimei is going for a Manta, so this AM, even without a Battle Fury, is gonna be shaping up to be a really strong core. You kind of jump on anyone, you slow them down and just blow them up in a couple of seconds. XERXIA, they still have to be on the aggressor right now. Moody has no problem dying right there.
Yeah, he's found the enemy.
Gyro dead?
Yeah, support for support. That was a pretty quick snatch there for the Hoodwink. Moody actually gets this one, so
Still a disaster. You can't get out of the your towers if you're XERXIA.
oh, I love how Pudge just goes in, has no fear at all, straight onto the Marcy. Hook being used as well. Rot burning down the Marcy. Marcy life still not going to be enough. BKB popped by Ken, surrounded by enemies. Does get the last one with the Pudge. Pudge, he's got some HP with the wand, and we'll keep him alive. Did have a bit of reserve in stock.
This is why you didn't like that smoke, because ideally you would be able to do this a little bit closer to the enemy side, and then the enemies would have to get away. They wouldn't be able to jump on you. Here's the thing, XERXIA, they get jumped on, and then you have to use defensive BKBs to attempt to get a kill, and just because of the gold lead, you can't even do that. So XERXIA, they just don't want to be dying at that part of the map. The problem is you can get nowhere else. The Morphling is going to be given the bottom part, and then that leaves you just dying in your own jungle if you want any kind of map control.
Yeah, it is a kind of a death is imminent situation, isn't it?
Yeah, pretty bad one. Morphling isn't even going for a BKB. I think with the Scotty, nothing changes. You're up against 3 melee cores, so I think this is a mistake from Karma. He needs a BKB, he needs to join his team, or the lead is gonna get too big for him to be able to make any kind of a difference.
Well, at least with the Scotty, you can go full Agi and not get blown up by Sharpshooter Bushwhack.
Maybe.
Maybe. Maybe. Was it the 20 or the 25 talent with the Sharpshooter? That's actually 20% for the projectile charge time. But hey, here we see it in action. Solo kill for Fearless. There's another fight breaking loose in the in the jungle, where they take down the Gyro, and now they find the Batrider. Got another one. That's 3. How long can XERXIA take it?
He didn't want to pop the BKB immediately on the bat, and then he lost the mana he only had for the BKB, but not for a TP out. Still, against the Pudge and the Tusk, not like it would have mattered anyways, but at least it would have given you a little bit more chances of living. I was surprised that the second anti-mage jumps on you, you don't pop the BKB. The mana burn is just way too high. But back to your question, how long can XERXIA take it? I mean, look at their logo. It's a bear with a scar, so they're definitely used to getting beat up, so they'll take a lot of it.
Hopefully so. I want to see XERXIA fight back. Tooth and nail. Meanwhile, Tusk already finding a target in the top lane. It's going to be the Marcy. There was a quick TP reaction, but no teleport going through as he drops the chase.
Probably would have ended up in a kill if he did get the connection onto the water sponge immediately. They're gunning the Morphling again.
Yeah, I was looking at that global silence for a second, and it took them some time, but they were finally able to locate the Morphling. Bushwhacked under, sharpshooter to death once again. That's his 7th death this game. Not much he can do about it. Hoodwink has another scurry available, but is he fast enough? Throws in the Bushwhack, and there's the roar. They're going to use the roar. Might as well.
They're not in a place they control. They have to run.
Valky, though, can battle out this Granite Golem. Usual slowed, and he takes another creep for himself, so he won't give away the goal, but the punch going in for the hook. We'll take the Gyrocopter. Marcy in between as well. Snowball's going to be there. They're going to lose Yaja. Snowball does connect onto the Batrider, but he's got his BKB up and running. Valky is behind enemy lines, but he needs his backup. The hook comes out, but it lands onto the Marcy. Marcy jumping in again. Valky finally taken down. They might be able to close out on the Pudge, but look at that Seimei. That Void. That Mana Void does way too much damage, and that's only an Aegis. Pudge is going to return for round number 2. He's got to blink up in just 2 seconds. And also a hook available. There's the wild hook, no blinking. I'll be happy with that. That will be a 2 for 3.
That was a long fight, but to be honest, I think Karma is not even focused in this game any longer. Earlier, the global silence wasn't up, and the Hoodwink managed to plant a tree for the tree to come from the ground, to connect with the Bushwhack on the Morphling, and he didn't respond with an attribute shift. It really wasn't that fast. He could have used it at any point, and he was just farming creeps, so it's not like he was looking at the base. So for me, I think Karma is just he is playing on autopilot right now. That kind of a move tells me that's the case. And if that's how it is, they really don't have any win condition. He has to be on his best performance right now if he wants to have a chance in this one.
Well, they're going to be closing into the mid lane and see what can happen here. 4-man smoke. Marcy already backing away behind that tier 2 tower. Pudge ready to go in. BKB ready. There we go. Finds Jing. Jing does get his off, but the roar comes out. Pudge is going to get initiated on, and Marcy does do a lot of damage, but can this Pudge hold his ground? He's only 11 armor. Needs to get a distance from this Marcy. XERXIA fighting back. If they get something done here, they're going to lose the Marcy, and they're just chasing and losing hero. Seimei, massive Void once again on the back line. Gaja down. Rapido down as well. And down to 2, the Batrider and the Morphling, they're both disengaged. They're already far away. They don't want anything to do with just what just happened.
There was a point there where I thought, okay, this Marcy is gonna smack the Pudge, and then an E-Blade comes out. A Hoodwink has an E-Blade. So even if there's a Skadi on the Morphling, I have to say Panda, he's getting cut down. Like this bat.
Or like this Hood, or like this Bat. Well, they're styling their way out of this one. Purple Paradox in their first series of this BTS Pro Series, coming up with a swift game 1. Might just be walking away with the second game 2. Karma. It's the jump on Moody. There's the hook save. It's a nice one. We landed one as well because Marcy is now all by herself. Seimei goes for the slow one. I was waiting for something to pop up with that counter spell being used, but there was nothing thrown in his general direction. The Death Soul will take the tower.
Very nice calm and cool collected play from the anti-mage. He saw the Beastmaster in the bottom lane. He could have dove this gyro, but the gyro kill isn't really worth too much. So I think it's just discipline there. It's like, I don't need to do this. Let's just take the tower and win this game from start to finish, play good Dota. So I'm actually surprised. You know, sometimes seeing these newly formed teams, you're usually going to be seeing a lot of diving, but Same he keeps it to himself and just goes back for the tower. So very nicely done.
I'm wondering if the calms are hectic or calm, because you do see these, you know, ensuring moments. We don't need to flex. We'll just secure what we need and what we can and what we know we can do, and actually focus on their capability. XERXIA may be feeling maybe a bit out of focus, but at least they've had a breather. They have lost a couple of heroes in their last few engagements. Bushwhack does get dodged by both Ken and Jing.
Fearless lies higher level than anyone on the side of XERXIA, and by a lot. Oh, that just goes to show this Hoodwink can kill any single one of your cores with the boomerang, with the E-blade. Everyone dies to the sharpshooter level 3.
Constant back and forth motion there, trying to get close to the tower, but anytime they see an ability fly about, they're all already disengaging, trying to get out, trying to get away.
And Rupido has a double damage, so now nothing is gonna change. But at least you take it away from the opponent's game and puts it on the bottom side of the map, because really it is looking very much over for XERXIA. Karma is going for a Scotty into Crystallis, so he how much? 2? Yeah,
2%.
I guess that's not right. That's about right.
That's not right. That's about right. Jing. BK beat up, Unleash has been used as well. Too many targets around. We'll get a couple hits onto the Pudge, but they are still in trouble. Pudge is just TPing in the middle of them. Has no respect at all at this point. It's like, well, you guys, you belong to us. You better tap out soon, because otherwise we're coming for your base.
Yep, skipping rope in front of your opponents, and they can't get close. It's just a real BM move from the Pudge. He in the end doesn't even go for the TP. I don't really think he was scared there. As you mentioned, maybe just kind of styling on the enemies. Even during my TP, I'm killing you and doing more damage than all of you combined. 4,300 damage on the Pudge, and the other team did the 2.7k in total.
Yeah. Karma already out of mana. Does get the strength more foul, but slowly grinded to a halt. And all inside the base they will go. Top lane is open, mid lane is open, bottom still has a tier 2, but at least they can secure a lane of racks here. Let's see what XERXIA can do. Fearless, oh look at that, beautiful. Surprises the Batrider completely off guard. And onto the gyrocopter they go. Jaja. His life was also, it was intact for a moment, but after a purple paradox, no longer there. Mid lane gone, going for the top lane.
Did they have enough now? I mean, maybe it's time to call it a day. Go back to the drawing board. This is, for me, this is one of the games that, you know, draft-wise, I don't know how they could have won. Even though, I mean, they got outplayed in the end with the Beastmaster pick and then the Punch coming out, sending the game to the offlane. But even before that, their draft didn't really make much sense. So it's I think you lost this one before the game even started. And in the game, you just kind of got absolutely destroyed by the enemies.
Yeah, that can happen from time to time. Maybe they were planning something with their draft. Maybe pretty early on that they wanted a specific hero. Maybe it got picked away. Maybe they wanted to have some kind of plan around maybe the Tusk. Probably the Hoodwink could have been an idea that they had in mind, but I was like, oh well, we didn't get the hero that we needed, and now we're just picking what we can to fill in the gaps. They're looking for Moody. They will get one kill on the support silencer, but he buys back with the global silence. Karma taken down. Batrider on the run. Valky, he's got his BKB. Could pop it here. He will. Goes in for a massive walrus punch. They will kill him though, and they're now getting bushwhacked into the tree, and that's the GG call. This series, it comes to an end. Purple Paradox 2-0.
Yeah, that fight started with you killing the silencer, but it also started with Fearless Law killing Karma. And when the
Yeah.
enemy position 4, he can just casually kill your carry. And there it is, Panda. He had the Scotty, and yeah, it didn't really help him that much against the Hoodwink. But for me, Fearless Law, really nice performance here. Not to don't want to talk about XERXIA any longer. They didn't have that good of a game, but yeah, either way, Fearless, like his spell usage in this game, positioning, understanding when to fight and how to fight. It wasn't hard to do so, but when you do it right every single time in the game, it just speaks volumes to how comfortable you feel on the hero. So for me, definitely the MVP of this one.
Yeah, exactly. I could say the Purple Paradox coming in with a very stable performance, good drafts, good execution. I really liked the way they played game one, and I think the way they kind of, you could almost say maybe outplayed XERXIA once or twice, kind of broke the camel's back, I guess, because this game too, I don't know what was going on here. There's not too much to talk about from XERXIA's perspective, like you said, but for Purple Paradox, a nice 2-0 victory, and yeah, that actually closes out the day as well for us, because this was the last of our best of twos that we've had today here with T-Panda and Harry at the BTS Pro Series SCA Season 13. We're going to take a couple days break, and tomorrow the games continue with Ares and 343 in the casting booth as well. So go say hi to the lads, go watch the games that are going on. We have Execration, Army Geniuses, Spawn versus Atomic, and Lil Gun versus Purple Paradox. So a lot of victorious teams playing out tomorrow, and also Execration starting their tournament run tomorrow. So excited to see what they can come up with their roster. And last Pro Series, remember Abang? Man, that guy, that was quite the something. So let's see what kind of form he is in now.
Yeah, for sure. Execration, it's gonna be fun to see their debut. They've stayed with the same lineup, so I'm expecting a lot from them in the BTS Pro Series and of course in the DPC as well.
But that being said, we're going to close out the day. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. NA later on today. SA continues tomorrow. We'll see you guys with some more further action. Take care of yourselves, everybody. Good night, and bye-bye.